Japanese writing systems and pronunciation. Introduction. Why does Japanese has three writing systems? The Japanese language has three types of characters: Hiragana, Katakana, and Kanji. Have you ever wondered why the Japanese language has three different types of characters? By the end of the video, you'll understand the historical background and the basic overview. Now, let's start. Long, long ago, Japanese people didn't have their own writing system. However, kanji, Chinese characters, arrived from China. Then, ancient Japanese people started using kanji. Originally, many kanji characters were created from pictures and they convey their own meanings. For example, ki means tree and looks like a tree. Yama means mountain and looks like a mountain. And kawa means river and looks like a flowing river. In ancient times, Japanese people used only kanji. Let's look at an example. This is an ancient poem. It is written only in kanji. I'll read it in a restored pronunciation. 青によし、奈良の都にたなんびける。天の白雲、未練度あかぬかも。Most people in Japan today wouldn't understand this writing. That's because it's an ancient writing. So let's convert it to modern Japanese script. Here's how it looks now. I'll read this in the modern common Japanese pronunciation. 青によし、奈良の都にたなびける。天の白雲、見れどあかぬかも。By the way, here is a translation into modern Japanese. 青にが美しい奈良の都にたなびいている空の白い雲。見ても飽きないものだ。And the beautifully adorned capital of Nara, the white clouds trailing across the sky, are a sight I can never tire of. As you can see, modern Japanese mixes kanji and hiragana. Then, a question comes to our minds. How did hiragana and katakana come into existence? So, let's look at the birth of hiragana and katakana. How did hiragana and katakana come into existence? The answer is simple. Japanese people simplified kanji to create hiragana and katakana. Hiragana is said to have been developed from simplified kanji. For example, the kanji an transformed into a, and the kanji re transformed into re. Hiragana has a soft and round shape. On the other hand, katakana is said to be created by taking parts of kanji. For example, the kanji ka transformed into ka and the kanji nu transformed into nu. Katakana has a straight and angular shape. Each kanji character has its own meaning. On the other hand, each hiragana and katakana character represents a sound unit. This makes hiragana and katakana very convenient for expressing the sounds of Japanese. So, how do modern Japanese people use these three types of characters? Now, let's look at an example sentence. 私は辛いミゴレンを食べます。I eat spicy migoren. Here, 私, I, and から of 辛い, spicy, and た of 食べます, eat, are written in kanji. Kanji is generally used for nouns like 私 and the stems of adjectives and verbs like 辛い and 食べます. Each kanji character carries its own meaning. For instance, the letter for 私 is related to words like I or private. The letter for spicy is connected to words like spicy, painful, or hard. And the letter for eat is related to words like eat, food, or meal. Now, look at wa, I, o, and bemasu. These are in Hiragana. Hiragana is typically used for grammatical particles like wa and o, and the endings of verbs and adjectives like I in karai and bemasu in tabemasu. Finally, migoren is in katakana. Katakana is often used for foreign words like mie goreng from Indonesian. Keep in mind that while these are the general tendencies, there is some flexibility in how these scripts are used in modern Japanese. However, remembering these tendencies will make Japanese writings easy to read. So, in summary, Japanese has three writing systems: Kanji, Hiragana, and Katakana, each with its own history and general role. Kanji primarily conveys meaning, while Hiragana and Katakana are phonetic scripts that represent sounds. In our next video, we'll learn Hiragana and Katakana, focusing on the first half of the Japanese syllabary. Thank you for watching.